Yo, what's up, people? This your boy KennyKlutch coming at you live out of Jacksonville, Florida. Day 15. We back at it again. We coming at you with the 100 days of diversity on the road to Renaissance. We got a lot of area to cover today, so we're gonna jump right on in. If you're looking for a new life, boom, you can reinvent yourself. We're gonna talk today about 21 days to a healthy attitude. It's a quick read too. 21 Days to a Healthy 21st Century Attitude, by the way, by my girl Mary Kay Kurzweg. Basically, she has a diverse background in fields of education, business, and volunteer sector. We always talked about being a good volunteer, learning business, and doing things in the fields of education, starting off with self-education. She shares her wealth of experience and valuable practical knowledge, providing tools of transformation to be more confident, calm, and focusing on the individual self is the focus of this book. In a lighthearted manner, Mary Kay explains the factors that influence self-assurance and offers personal strategies for living a life of success. Let's stop right there. Bam. We talk about living a life of success. Not only is that one day at a time, but you can't forget the obstacles. You can't forget to acknowledge you're going to have some trouble times. You're going to have some rough spots. You're going to have a lot of smooth spots because you're trying to do something different. That's a shift going down. That's a paradigm shift. But at the same time, over a big block of time, you can't forget about the obstacles. We have to work those in. So I want to start today with two pieces of memorabilia that I like to keep with me at all times. And I found this on the beach couple of videos back. This is a broken iPhone, not even the whole phone, it's just the back and some remnants of the technology that was in there. Every time I pull this out, it reminds me of Steve Jobs and his vision. You know, and we look at some of the new things that's in current times right now where the government's trying to force Apple to, hack themselves and break their privacy on decades of technology that they've developed over time to protect the public, and it's ongoing controversy. But I like to use this as a scenic idea to remind us how talented you can become. All right, boom. Then another thing, this is a new thing I want to share with y'all. Y'all know what these is. These nice little happy stickers you buy at the dollar store. When you get them happy face, it takes 13 muscles to make a happy face compared to 50 to make a frown. So when you talk about 21 days to a 21st century attitude, I like to think before we jump into what these 21 days are all about, you got to remind yourself on a daily basis how important that attitude is. So I like to remind myself with smiley faces all the time. Even when I'm feeling bad, I might take one off and put one on my shirt. Let me go ahead on and do that right now. Sure, we jumping off. We getting started. Let me put one on the other side. Bam. We gonna do two for one. All right, let's jump on right on into this. Here we go. 21 Days to a Healthy 21st Century Attitude by Mary Kay Kurzweg. All right, now, it's a real thin read. It's not too heavy duty, real thin, but power packed. You might have a hard time finding this one. You might need to jump online and dig this one up, but it's very well worth your effort. All right, let's jump right on into it. The way she breaks it down is a few pages for each day, of course, and I'm just starting from the table of contents because we want to cover as much as we can to incorporate the gist of the book without going too far in depth. All right, starts out with an introduction and how to get the most out of this material, and 21 days to a healthy 21st century attitude. When you think about a 21st century attitude, what does that bring to mind? Forward thinking, technology, incorporating technology into your life. We all synced up at the hip. There was a study I read where it says out of 24 hours a day, you are usually within arm's reach of a digital device. Maybe at your phone, your tablet, even when you're sleeping, it's usually on your nightstand or sometimes in your bed. So when we talk about arm's length in terms of reach, we usually have some type of digital media at some referenceable point close by. All right, let's jump right on in. Day number 1. Day number 1 starts out with attitude and mental health. Without jumping into the pages, because we got a lot to cover, when you think about having a positive attitude, forward and rear, having a bad attitude from the past could definitely sour out your future. And it can make your mental attitude real sour, so that people that want to work with you would never really have a wanting urge to work with you because your attitude is bad. All right, cool. Day number 2, how I view things. Talk about lenses, how you see things, your perception, whether you're an optimist, where the glass is half full, or whether you're a pessimist, where the glass is half empty. We got looking at changes in perspective, how you view things. Encourage all experiences. Day 3, my past successes and my failures. She likes to group those together because you have to have a balance of both. Taking in consideration the successes, but also not forgetting about the failures, because you also can learn from those situations as well. Day number 4, stress and worry. They go hand in hand. If you're stressed out, your worry is pretty much up there too. So that could really take a physiological effect on your body. Have you staying in home and being dormant, being what I like to call a professional hermit. You do that hermit thing real well. All right. Day number 5, being grateful. And for some people, this is real hard, because when you talk about grateful, having a grateful attitude, you want to think about things that somebody give you, or even just a words of encouragement. These things are free. They give it to you out of the kindness of their heart, but sometimes we're not grateful and acknowledging what we get from other people, because we feel that we shouldn't have to say that. Well, they gave it to me, I shouldn't feel grateful. Being grateful. All right, day 6, changing me versus changing them. My man Jim Rohn says, he would learn back in the day that when he works harder on himself than he works on a job, then that paradigm shift starts to change. You're talking about books, looking at book reviews, but when you putting quotes in, or you thinking positive, or you smiling, or you put on a nice scent to make yourself smell good, you'll feel good. That aroma of integrity and excellence goes a long way, baby. All right, day number 7, heroes and the person I want to become. I can only imagine that this is somebody that you aspire to be, a role model, person in your society that you can kind of look up to, and reach out for help. Nowadays, when you're reaching out, it's just as simple as an email, a telephone call, showing up at the mixer, asking them for a business card. You're going to get a lot of people that's going to look at you like, man, I don't know you. But at the same time, you're going to get a few people that's going to be understanding of your start in your dream, the beginning parts of your dream. I like to call that embryonic steam, where you're real small in your pursuits, but you got a head of steam, but you still growing at the same time. Heroes and the person I want to become. That's day 7. Day 8, goals. Plain and simple, one word. We talk about short-term, mid-term, long-term goals. We talk about that all the time. Just goals, plain and simple. Day number 9, commitment. That's real big, because when you're not committed to something, it's easy to be distracted, easy to have distractors, and crabs in the bucket, could take that uncommitted person off track a little bit. Day number 10, confidence, being real confident, knowing what you're trying to do, examine the foresight of it, the domino effect, how many people you will affect over time. That's a sense of confidence, knowing that you can do this and you can get through this. Day number 11 is connecting. I like to think that's connected to networking, connecting to your future self. Remember, you haven't seen that person before. So there's a lot of little segues in the walk of being that new person that you have to connect with. And I like to mentally call it giving yourself the green light to grow. Because when we on red or yellow, there's too much hesitation in there. There's too much wishy-washy that's going down with that. So basically, day 11 is connecting. Day 12, this is a biggie, combat negativity. And remember, we have a lot of negativity in our heads. You know, my girl Lisa Nichols, she talks about negative chatter from the inside out, you know, and how it just distorts your whole vision. You know, so when we talk about combating negativity, you know, Mary Kay brings out this thing in a good sense of the word in her book, you know, because she talks about different segues of negativity from the inner and the out. Day 13, habits, having good habits, you know, breaking the old ones and starting some new ones, and habits, plain and simple. Day 14, affirmations. Don't forget to put the word positive before the word affirmations. It's not listed here, it just says affirmations. But you have to interject the word positive in affirmations, because you could negatively affirm yourself to death. You know, so make sure that you put positive affirmations on your daily walk to this 21st century attitude. And day 15, using time wisely, time management. You know, I heard on the TV the other day, there's a bunch of our kids that either don't have a watch of their own, or they don't really know how to tell time on the digital, you know, two-hand time frame. If it's a plain and see one, then they could read it. But if it's the two shorthand, little hand, and big hand, they can't read the time. So that's a big discouragement. So when you use your time wisely, volunteer, tutor, help a kid understand something. You know, it feels like a great sense of contribution, and it don't really cost you nothing but time and attention. Self-management, time management. Day 16, doing your best, giving it your all in all. Remember when we used to use that leverage term called 110%? And it's probably been outdated for about 15 or 20 years now. We don't even use it too much because it's been that outdated. But I like to think the number is 250 or better, you know, and I'll break that down in a future video. But right now, doing your best, 250%, you know, the old 110, that's just average. That used to be all right, but that number has depreciated over time. You got to do 250 or better nowadays, baby. Doing your best, day 16. Day 17, become solution-oriented, task forward. When you think about solution-oriented and you start out with the task as your caveat, as your little, you know, your little goal to be, what you want to do is think about the solution. And even if you don't have the solution right in front of you, those tasks that will gravitate towards your future, they're going to bring in new people to help you develop what you need to do. And I'm learning that from first-hand self-experience. You know, so when you become solution-oriented, you don't necessarily have to have the whole idea in mind from way, way back. But when you start thinking about those gradual progressions, then the solution will come into fruition. All right, day 18, risk-taking. There's a big discomfort in taking a risk, but there's a big general elation at the end of some risk. And I think for a lot of people that, you know, taking a risk is a big deal breaker because you don't know what the end result of the risk will be. But that shouldn't stop you from taking a risk. My man Les Brown says jump off the cliff anyway, and you're going to grow your wings on the way down. You know, and that's big scary for some of our, you know, for some of our folks out there that's starting this new road to renaissance. So that's very understandable, but you have to take the risk. You can't get a big reward without taking a small risk. All right, day 19, as we wrap up, turning points, changes and shifts and segues and different roads and charting new waters and all of this. As long as you keep them feet moving, you can run through that target. You know, just like in football, they tell you don't run to the target, run through the target. You know, so when you have turning points, you're going to have to shift and cut and do those different little moves to take your turning points to a higher level, but they're inevitably there. And we can always learn from good turning points. Day 20, inspiring others. That's very important because it's not important enough for just you to get the comfort and the elation and the progression, but there's somebody that's 10 times in a worse mental situation that's unfortunately about to pull the trigger tonight that you could help out. Give them a call, send them a text, you know, send them another one. You know, different things that don't cost us nothing but time and attention, but that ultimately could save somebody's life or another person from getting hurt tonight. All right, last but not least, Day 21. How do you want to be remembered? That's in terms of leaving a legacy. When people think about your name, what do they want to do? I was like, oh, no, here this dude coming. Nah, bad news. How do you want to be remembered? Think about your longevity, your legacy, and decide to do something with it. So we're going to wrap up, baby. We're going to understand this as a great one. 21 Days to a Healthy 21st Century Attitude by my girl Mary Kay Kurzweg. Go get this one, baby. This is a nice brick of excellence here today, baby. This your boy KennyKlutch coming at you live out of Jacksonville on day 15. What's happening, my people? What's up, moms? What's up, pops? What's happening with my wife, Denise? What's happening with my sister, my family at home, baby? What's happening with y'all? Hit your boy up. Love y'all. Peace. And remember, don't pull the trigger tonight. KennyKlutch at gmail.com. Road2Renaissance at gmail.com. Y'all be cool.